So your new album, which hasn't come out.
No, it comes out in May.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
2 months from this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be good to get the new album, but you got the single on yours that's coming out. But
Got the single, and we got EPs that we're coming out with.
Oh,
and you can even get one
fantastic.
tonight at the show.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, definitely do that.
They're and the EPs are the album songs, but they're acoustic versions.
Oh, fantastic!
So some of them are just little intimate performances or the actual demo that eventually became the song. So it was a way to bring people into the process.
Yeah.
But also, I felt like I made so many promises that I was going to make an acoustic album, and I didn't.
And you did, yeah.
So I was like, well, I could make acoustic versions, and so that's what's coming out. And one is available today. No, yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have those at the show, and
great.
they're great.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So with your new album, is there like an anticipation that comes with the album release or an EP release, or do you sort of just?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're excited because you want people to hear it. You know, there's a certain anticipation that goes with it, and especially when we're talking 2 months before it comes out. So there's a real anticipation there. Because I don't know. I never understood waiting. It's like the album's done. It's done. It's there. It's like, why do we have to wait 3 months? But there's a whole world of marketing that I've still yet to figure out. How it works. And
you probably don't even need to.
So I just try to take it day by day, play the songs, at the shows. And
So this album was inspired by David Shrigley.
Well, the album title.
The
album title was inspired by David Shrigley, who's a brilliant visual humorist. I like to call him because he does both words and illustrations. And he also has a collection of photos where he adds his own little signs and bizarre character, really. And I've yet to meet him, but I found this one piece in a book called "We Sing, We Dance, We Steal Things." It was 3 circles that all interlocked it, and right in the center of the interlock of the circles, it said, "We sing, we dance, and we steal things." And I was like, wow, that's hilarious. That was about 2 years ago. And then as I was working on the record, I just always kept that in the back of my mind. I was like, it spoke so much to me, that especially when we started making the record, it gave me the opportunity to create sing-alongs. And I think there's like 6 different moments on the album where choirs participate somehow, even if it's only for a second or a short while. There's a danceable aspect to the album, very much so, and also there's an element to the album that says it's okay to be a bit mischievous sometimes. As long as we're still kind to one another, you can still there's still such thing as civil disobedience. So that's sort of what I took from that title. And of course, I emailed Dave Shrigley and I said, "Do you mind if I use this? I love the piece." He said, "No problem." And then we emailed him again. I said, "Do you think you'd want to draw a picture of me and see if we can use it for the album cover?" And he said, "Well, I don't think you're gonna like it very much because his drawings are weird. He has this style where it looks like he's on the phone the whole time.
Yes.
And he's just sort of talking to somebody, doodling, but he sent us a couple doodles and they're just amazing. So good. Awesome. So he's responsible for all the artwork.
Great. Because I was looking through the website yesterday actually and looking at all these little artwork. There's so much information on the website though.
Right.
To take in and all the drawings.
Well, some of it's adapted from Shrigley, and of course we gave our web guys sort of the freedom to just sort of adapt that style and create this sort of world in the website, because we have a new website up now.
Yeah, I looked at that yesterday. I noticed that yesterday.
I'm very excited about it.
That's
it's like
great.
my first real website.
That's a good website, or maybe MySpace and everything. So much information. And with the songwriting on the album, how do you feel it's developed from the last studio album in terms of?
I think it's just time and experience, coming of age. I certainly practice songwriting. I write a lot of songs, And most of them are rubbish. You know, sometimes I don't even finish it, but I just feel like I feel like I've written long enough. It's like when I've written for 2 hours, it's done, you know. But at least that's sort of the practice of songwriting, and then you end up with this wealth of material, so that when it came time to make the record, I had a lot to choose from, and when I needed to fill in the blanks in the studio, it wasn't a major task. It was like, yeah, no problem, I know how to write a song in a few minutes, and there's certainly a craft to songwriting.
Yeah.
There's a technique to it, and a formula that you can follow, and that's all good, but that doesn't always mean the song is going to connect, you know. That's just going to mean that it's going to sound like a song that people are going to think is a hit, and that never works.
Yeah.
So with this song, with this album, the songs that really made it on the record were the songs that I was able to sort of remove myself from the process, if you will, and just let the song sort of speak what it needs to speak, rather than interject the Jason Mraz character so much, which is a lot of what Mr. A to Z was about. It was sort of about me dealing with the world, and me being very aware of my identity in the world, and that can get in the way of any job that you do. As soon as you start playing the role of who you think you are, all the shit falls apart, you know. So I really had the joy of taking some time off the road and working in my garden and taking care of a cat and doing some surfing and cooking all my own meals, and with that comes this sort of like, you honestly do strip away so much. You're constantly humbled by these ordinary activities, because I wasn't feeding myself television and internet and magazines and gossip, which constantly makes you question who you are and why you exist, and if you're good enough, and so by taking all this time off, I set new values for myself, and it made songwriting just this sort of meditation where it just went its own way. And it was so wonderful. Yeah, it's therapeutic, exactly. And I've always thought songwriting should be therapeutic. Any writing should be therapeutic, you know. Blogging's the same way, and yeah, it was just so that's sort of how the music has evolved in this sense.
And do you still participate, as you mentioned last time, the online songwriting group?
Still going.
Still going?
Still
That's
going.
Good. That's great.
Yeah, I just recorded 2 songs in Perth for the songwriters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's still going.
That's
It's got to keep going. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do.
That's what I was
myself.
wondering.
I'm hooked. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. And do you still feel like a new writer, or are you starting to feel that you've found your?
No, I'm still new to this whole thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I definitely feel excited by the work that I've done for this album, and I'm actually nervous for the next album already, because this one's so good. You know what I mean? And so I'm nervous as to how I'm going to write the next one and what I'm going to write about. And honestly, it's important for me almost to not even think about it. It's like when I go into a show, I don't really like to think about it and have a pre-planned script or a set list even that I'm going to follow. So I'm definitely not set in my ways as a writer that I'm confidently going to just walk into my next one. So there's a certain level of freshness that I keep, and I always allow myself to be completely naive to it all, and it works for me.
Yeah, that's good.